Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Team Talk TV, episode 77. I am back after a long Ramadan. When I say long, it was quite short, but yeah, I am back. So it's great to be back on the show again. And I've got two guests. I mean, to be honest, Dan, you're becoming a regular like Ibs and Coach. So welcome back, Dan. How are you doing?
I'm been better, but good Sunday, good Sunday.
Yeah. And we've got Ibs. How are you, bro?
Yeah, not bad, thank you, brother. How are we? How are you, man?
Very good, very good. How was your Ramadan? How was your Eid?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. How about yours?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, it's good. I mean, it went very quick, but yeah, I'm glad to be back. So much has happened since I've been away. You had the European Super League. You've had Champions League drama, Chelsea into the final. Then you've had obviously today's game right now, and we're going to go straight into it at the Hawthorns. Alisson Becker, 94th minute winner. I mean, I was just going to cover my shirt as I was speaking to Dan behind closed doors, and I cannot believe what I've just witnessed. So you're going to have to forgive me for what's just happened. I'm still in disbelief, so I'm going to let you guys go through it. Liverpool's Champions League hopes are still alive. They still need to win two out of the remaining games after Leicester and Chelsea will play each other on Tuesday. But guys, I cannot believe what I've just witnessed. Just talk to me. What do you think? Your thoughts on what's just happened right now?
I'm very, very annoyed. Like, to be honest, that the VAR was probably the worst VAR call I've ever seen. And on top of that, I was seconds away just thinking, yeah, okay, cool. Like, Liverpool out of the Champions League race now, and then Alisson last minute, like, those sort of moments just show you that, yeah, momentum's just going to carry Liverpool into the top four. So yeah, I'm not happy, but
as a Chelsea player, you're not happy. I will say it was a poor decision to disallow that goal, because when the header or when the touch comes off Bartley, I think it was. I mean, the ball was nowhere near Phillips, or I think it was blocking Alisson. Yeah, really, really poor decision. But I think a lot of those goals have been disallowed in the Premier League as well, where line of interference or something like that.
Yeah, in
it was a
blocking the
poor
vision.
one. Yeah. It was a poor one. Gave Liverpool some hope. They had two big chances in the last 5 minutes. Gini Wijnaldum and Trent. But what an incredible moment. I'm still in disbelief, as you can see. Alisson Becker keeps Liverpool's hopes alive. They know that 2 wins will be enough to give Liverpool a place in the Champions League, which sounded quite mad, if you asked me, at the end of March, but they're in it somehow. And we've got your boys to thank, Ibs, who beat Chelsea by a goal 10-0, thanks to Emil Smith-Rowe. Sum it up for me, Liverpool top 4. What do you think?
I think it was when you lost to Fulham 1-0.
Yeah.
I think you were probably like something outrageous in the betting. It was probably like 10-1 or even worse. And I said to my friend who's a Liverpool fan, I said, I'm going to put 50 quid on it. Liverpool want to get you. Nah, don't waste your money. Don't waste your money. And look what's happened. I said Liverpool will get top 4. For some reason, their fixture run-in was just favourable. And as Dan said, momentum will take Liverpool, as it always does for some reason. I don't know what it is. It's the football gods. And when Alisson went up, I said, nah, nothing's going to happen here. They put the keeper up. So he scored, and that's 3 vital points. You've got favourable fixtures, and Leicester play Chelsea. Leicester have also got Spurs, and Chelsea have got Villa. So it looks like Klopp could end up with a top 4 place, which, based on the season, won't be the worst if it ends up like that. And in the end, it could be godsend, really.
Yeah, it was. Just incredible. It's been a big week for Liverpool, obviously winning at Old Trafford away, which I didn't expect. Obviously, you did message me, he was saying that you wanted Liverpool to win, and I couldn't see it. We went 1-0 down, and we pulled it through. We don't win at Old Trafford since I've left school. I mean, we've only won there twice. Now it's 3 times. And the players came up big. Firmino, Trent Alexander-Arnold was great today. Thiago, who's now coming into a big form, and he was man of the match today as well, rightly so. Yeah, the momentum is there, as you guys are saying. Before I left, we did a top 4 prediction. Some of them are archived, which you'll bring back, Ibs. Yeah. Do you think Liverpool will get that 4th spot then, or is there going to be another twist? Dan,
Yeah,
I'm going to ask West Brom 3 because I feel like you're going to points. I think you're particularly close today. And I think Burnley are going to be a tough test, just because they're going to set up super defensive. But it all depends on what Liverpool attack shows on the day, really. But yeah, I'm still gonna just stick with my prediction. I think Chelsea win this week against Leicester, get revenge, and then yeah, I think Leicester, if they need to beat Tottenham, they'll beat Tottenham, and I think if Chelsea need to get a result against Villa, that's the game I'm really not confident about, but I'm hoping we do it.
Before I go on to more Premier League roundup, let's do a prediction for that game then. Chelsea v Leicester. Let's start off with you, Dan.
I think it'll be 1-0 Chelsea. 1-0 Chelsea win.
I'll go the same as well. I think Chelsea very good defensively. Obviously, done by a screamer yesterday. Ibs, what are you going for?
No.
Huh?
We got done by Kepa, but we'll move on to that.
God. Okay. Go on, Ibs.
I think it's... Do you know what? As you said, Chelsea are very good at home. So I'll probably just have Chelsea edge it. But I would love if Leicester win or even get a point. I think Chelsea will edge it 1-0.
Cool. I'm just looking at the league table and what's just happened before we go to the FA Cup final. Just other Premier League roundup. Manchester United secure their place, obviously, in the top 4. Manchester City have won the league. Believe it or not, on Tuesday. We'll come on to them later on the show. Fulham are also relegated. And the only real other thing is the Europa League places. There's going to be 2 Europa League places and a European Conference League. I should get that correct. For the 7th place. Tottenham have overtaken West Ham today. They won by 2-0 against Wolves. They are same points, but ahead by goal difference. Tottenham won today by 2-0. I don't really know what else we can really add. Harry Kane has scored 22 goals each now alongside Mohamed Salah for the race for the Golden Boot. Who's going to miss out then and finishing in Europa League places? Can Arsenal get in there, Ibs? Who won the last 2? You don't want to, I know.
And the thing is, though, if Arsenal somehow, with the football god's help, get 6th, then fine. But I do not want 7th. Not for the life of me. I don't want that Europa Conference League. I'd rather Arsenal finish 8th and just have a run, or they'd somehow, miraculously, don't know how, get 6th. But I don't think it will happen. So I'm happy for Arsenal to finish where they are now, which is 8th, I believe.
9th.
9th for the moment. They can finish 9th, or if Everton slip up, finish 8th.
A win for Everton will take them 4 points ahead of Arsenal. So they are playing Sheffield United in a few minutes.
Yeah, we can accept that. Yeah.
We can accept that. Okay. Other news, my mate Tariq Mitchell got a goal and assist. So I'm very pleased for you. Very proud of you, bro. He got the winner against Aston Villa 3-2. So that's all really. Right then, we'll move on to the FA Cup final, where Leicester City, magical story, have won by a goal to nil. Yuri Tielemans with an absolute screamer. And it was more controversy in the final minute. 89th minute, it was Ben Chilwell, believe it or not, was ruled out. So the gods were there. God was there for Leicester City on that day. Dan, we're going to come straight to you. It was a disappointing game for Chelsea and must have been really more frustrating with 2 decisions or 2 definitely the offside one. Leicester held through with a screamer. It was great to see the fans back. It was the FA Cup magic again. What did you make of Chelsea yesterday?
I thought it was a good tactical battle, to be honest. It was a tight game. I think Leicester did perform well. People may say I'm being biased, but I personally think that Chelsea was the better team in the final. But yeah, we got done. We got done with a good goal. It was a great strike. I've said it here before, many times before. Kepa always seems to get ripped. And people think it's a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It's either poor positioning or...
Was he too short?
He is too short. That's my opinion. He doesn't reach it. And if you watch the goal, it wasn't top corner. Mendy, in my opinion, saves that. Courtois makes saves like that. He made saves like that for Chelsea time and time again. And although it was a good strike, good keepers make good saves. And Kepa just doesn't make good saves. So, I mean, tactically, I think Tuchel got it right because... We dealt with Leicester's biggest weapon, which is their attacking transitions. Kept Vardy quiet, kept Kelechi quiet. But selection wise, I think Reece James at centre back had a very good game. But I don't think we had enough from our wing backs. So as Piliqueta and Alonso, I think it wouldn't have done Hudson-Odoi's substitution earlier because he had an impact on the game when he came on. And obviously Mendy, I think, although Kepa started the whole FA Cup run, it's a final, and you've got to be brutal in your selection, I think, and you just go out with your best 11. So, I feel like he's paid the price on that. but we go again on Tuesday, and we keep our heads up and focus on the Champions League final, which is the real pride.
I think I saw Thomas Tuchel interview after the game, and he does have that bit of German mentality. I've seen Klopp come out with the same thing. You know, oh, we played better. If it wasn't for that goal, you know, Leicester would have won. And he is right to an extent, of course. I was really. I mean, Werner was not good enough yesterday. He just wasn't, and I think that was such a pain. I think when you, like you said, when you keep Vardy and Kelechi and Nacho quiet, and you've done that in a lot of games, you kept the Real Madrid boys quiet, you kept our boys quiet. You know, you don't concede goals. Simple as you only conceded one against Real Madrid, and you did that job. So yeah, fair play. There's been Chelsea and they've been superb in that one. But how disappointing was Timo Werner yesterday? Simply,
I agree. I agree.
And I think in the Champions League final, he has a big call, Thomas Tuchel. Does he go for him? Does he put Havertz as a false nine and Pulisic and Mount on the other sides? I don't know. It's an interesting call.
I think Werner's the option for the Champions League final, just because City play a higher line, and you know, pace is what's going to be needed to exploit that. I think that yesterday, you're right. I think our front three were disappointing. You know, there were 4 key moments I can remember. I think two with Mason Mount and 2 with Werner's. So Mason Mount had a decent game, but again, you know, in the final third, I think he got excited with it being a final. But both of them had chances when it was 3-on-3. One of them was a 3-on-2. But the last pass, the decision making, all 4 of them, in all 4 chances, they went for goal. Werner went for goal twice. Mount went for goal twice. When really the 3-man was the right option. But I think with it being a final, they just neglected instructions, really, because I know Tuchel would have them play that pass. But you know, you live and you learn. It's good. I'd rather they feel what it's like to lose now, knowing, okay, yeah, we've got another final in a couple of weeks. We don't want to feel like this again. And hopefully that, you know, that's enough. You know, it would have obviously been better to win it, and then you can go into that final with, you know, the confidence. But you know, you just got to take the positives from the negatives. And yeah, I just think hopefully I think Werner's the option for the final against Man City, and I hope that we attack better against City.
Cool. I mean, you'd be happy to know, Dan, I'll be rooting you guys on against Manchester City. I don't want them winning it. So yeah, good luck to Chelsea.
Just to say, you know, it's funny you say that, because yesterday, even me as a Chelsea fan, I said, like, it sounds silly. Obviously, I wanted to win the game, but if we lost, it wouldn't affect me that much, because I like Leicester that much, and I feel like it was Chelsea versus the UK yesterday. Everybody was behind Leicester. I think there was something almost spiritual about it. Like, everyone was backing Leicester yesterday. Obviously, they're just a good club, and I think Brendan deserves it, to be fair.
Yeah. Congratulations to Brendan Rodgers. I'm very happy for him also. And we will come on to Leicester. That club has been through so much. League One champions, heartbreak against Watford, Dini, then they promoted again, and the Great Escape, and then they won the league, and then the owner sadly died in a helicopter crash. Heartbreak in the Europa League, finishing in the Europa League space last season. Now they're so close to the Champions League and won the FA Cup, and that club is run so well. A good manager, some top players. Ibs, how well run are Leicester, and how big was the story that they won the FA Cup yesterday?
I think it just comes down to having owners who care about the club, and you know, they might not have the financial backing that other clubs do, but they still want to, you know, buy players, and they still want to improve the team, but they want to look after the community, they want to look after the club, make it a better club, better training facilities, build from within. And I think that's what it's about when you're being an owner. And it's a nice story, especially after the tragedy that happened, and you know, from winning the league to sort of a little dip with Ranieri to sort of, you know, coming back with Brendan and bringing them back up. And again, winning another trophy, it's admirable for them. And I think Leicester can now see themselves as a club who can actually be recognised as a top 6 club, you know, and they can look at themselves and think, okay, we might not be financially as good as the rest, but we can still pack a punch. And I think they've got a manager who will probably help them get there. There might need to be a transition with a few players, you know, the Albrightons, the Wes Morgans, the Vardys, you know, shipping them out at some point. But I think they've got a good bunch of players there. So it's just good. It's a really good story for Leicester, and I'm actually happy that they won the cup. For me,
Yeah.
FA Cup final day is just one of the best days in the calendar. I enjoy it, so it's good to see that Leicester won it, and especially good to have the fans back, and I'm sure they all enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, we will. Oh, sorry, Dan, do you want to say something?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, even as what I agree, they've got a good bunch of players, but again, the back office, their recruitment is fantastic. Even, you look back to, Kante, Mahrez, bargain signings, drink water, etc., and making profit on those players. They've now brought in a new bunch. Tielemans, excellent signing. I mean, to be fair, my brother put me onto Tielemans when he was at Anderlecht, when it was United versus Anderlecht in the Europa. And, he's proven to be a very good signing for them. Fofana had a fantastic game yesterday. Guys like Sayuncu, these are names that, typically before they joined Leicester, no one was screaming these players. But they've just got such a good recruitment system, which is, even Kelechi's coming along now really well. So, yeah, it's just a very good club, to be fair. And you're right, I feel like they are a top 6 club now, to be honest.
100%. I mean, if Tottenham are a top 6 club, I don't want to disrespect them too much, but what on earth are Leicester? They've won the league and the FA Cup in the last 5 years. So if there's a top 6 or a top 7, I know Sky and BT, whatever they do, that is definitely a top 6 club, and a club that's pretty much beaten every top 6 side this season, I think. Yeah, they have. So even beat Man City 5-2. So how well they were yesterday, they were fantastic. I thought Wesley Fofana was man of the match. Incredible centre-back. Youri Tielemans was great as well. He was. I didn't think Leicester were amazing yesterday. You don't have to be amazing in cup finals, and they had a moment to just, straight in top corner, whatever. So, fantastic for Leicester City, and they should be very, very proud. I was just going to say something I've forgotten about now. Actually, I wanted to talk about the owner. I forgot the son's name. Is Leicester, in terms of the owners, is he the best owner in the league? Maybe. Obviously, we know we have people financially who can give money or who can spend, but this owner has done everything. They've won the league and the FA Cup somehow. How impressed are you with the son? Obviously, his father tragically died, and are Leicester a well-run club?
You have to say that they, in terms of, you can't say they're the best owners just because of results. Other clubs, Man City owners are the best. Maybe it's because they're the richest, but in terms of ones that are getting the most out of what they have invested, then definitely Leicester are miles ahead of everybody in that chart. I think that they've done really well to compete. And Brendan Rodgers said it himself, in the interview yesterday. He said, like, look, we might not have the same financial power as some of these top clubs, but our aim every year is to compete. We know that we can go into games, and if we play like we do today, we can win these games. If we can get to these finals, then we can win these games, and that will bring in trophies. And that's what they do. They compete. They get the most value out of their squad and their resources. So yeah, I definitely think they're up there with being the best owners in the league, for sure.
Yeah, well said, Dan. I definitely agree. But yeah, Leicester City, congratulations on winning the FA Cup. Brendan Rodgers, very happy for him also. All right, we're going to quickly move on the Premier League champions, unfortunately. Manchester City, who won the league on Tuesday night. They won by 4-3 against Newcastle. Really, really interesting game, that one. Ferran Torres with a hat-trick. Any quick words on Manchester City? And obviously, Dan, we'll probably have to mention a bit on the Champions League final. How impressive have they been this season? And where does this rank in terms of Premier League champions, in a way?
I'll go if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was that 1-1 draw they had with West Brom. I don't think many people fancied them, but I don't think people expected them to go on the run they did.
Mm-hmm.
And they won a lot of games, and they really just pretty much put their foot down on the gas and just pretty much won the league quite comfortably in the end. It's been another good season in terms of that for them. Again, winning the League Cup again as well. So they've won another trophy there. Mm-hmm. It's a good City team. I think he's done quite well to not incorporate a striker and find a new way to play. Players have hit good form, like Gundogan and when De Bruyne was out. And other players have stepped up when they've needed them most. So I think Man City have done really well. I don't know if it's Pep's best team. I think the one that went 100 might be a bit better, but it's still good, and it could end up very well for them, in a couple of weeks if they were to win the big one. They're the team to beat. They will be the team to beat next season, but I think the gap's closing a bit by some of the results they have had this season. But I still think teams will have to step up quite a lot to match them and then overtake them. But it's been a good season for them, and if they win in a couple of weeks, then they'll top it off, and it could be a great season.
Yeah, not much really more to add on that. Manchester City deserved champions. I think it was strange because after 9-10 games, they were in the bottom half or 10th or something like that. And, they played Leicester, they played Leeds, they couldn't win those ones, they drew to Liverpool. And yeah, they just come out firing without a striker as well. And I'm sure, and I'm hoping it'll be a great final against Chelsea on the 29th. But again, Dan, let's hope your boys do it. Well, for me at least. And congratulations to Manchester City. I just remembered what I wanted to say because I was just thinking about the FA Cup final again, and it was amazing to have the fans back. Leicester and Chelsea supporters. I think it was 25,000 or 20,000 or something like that. And I wanted to ask you two, how badly have the fans been missed? And we'll talk slowly around your clubs. How much have they been missed from your guys, and how good was it to see the fans back yesterday?
To be fair, from listening to it, it sounded like it was only Leicester fans in there. I don't know where the Chelsea fans were, but yeah, it's obviously adds that extra bit to the game. What we've been missing for almost a year and a half now. That atmosphere, the vibe, the feeling. The game's just not the same without it. And I think yesterday was a good sign, or a small sign of what's to come back, if you like. I'm looking forward to next season having fans back in, and just hopefully getting to a few games myself, because I've missed being in a stadium myself. So it's great. It was great yesterday.
I was just gonna say, my brother got a ticket for the game on Tuesday. He's a Chelsea fan, Dan. He's buzzing. I think he didn't really care too much. Obviously, I used to wear in Brent, and I get him at the final. But yeah, he's successful on the ballot. So I'm very, very jealous to see him come back. I don't know when I'm going to go back to my next game, but it was great. I can only really speak as a Liverpool fan. Anfield on big games, the atmosphere certainly improved in that place now since Klopp has come in. We've missed that at Anfield, of course, and then for Arsenal as well. I mean, I don't think Arsenal will get away with it. The performances, if they had their supporters back, I genuinely believe there'll be a bit more passion in the side as well. I'm just speaking of those two clubs quickly. But yeah, it was fantastic to have the supporters back. And yeah, supporters are back from Tuesday, starting Chelsea, Leicester, Burnley, Liverpool, I think 500 away fans as well. So yeah, really, really exciting, and was fantastic to see. Ibs, do you want to add anything? Fans back in the ground?
I think it's affected Liverpool personally. I don't think they would have drew or lost certain home games if they had the fans. I think it plays a big difference for clubs like that. But I think for Arsenal, it wouldn't have been much different. I'm being deadly serious. I don't think having the fans there would have made Arsenal play better or get better results. I think it would have just probably increased the scrutiny on Arteta more than anything. A lot of people would have just voiced their disgust at what they'd seen, and AFTV would have been quite vocal. But I don't think Arsenal have a 12th man like some clubs do when it comes to fans. I think Arsenal have always, even when it's been 60,000 rocking on a great night, it's not that they bring it as much. I think the only time I could possibly say Arsenal fans have been erupt was when we beat Barcelona back in whenever. Otherwise, I don't really look at fans and think, oh yeah. I mean, I've been to games over there. I even took my mum to one game. She was like, is this it? Like, we watched a 0-0 draw, and she was like, well, she even shouted offside because it was that boring. So I don't think Arsenal fans are, it's been that much. But I think it'll be good when fans are back. But
yeah, what I'm trying to say is I think United one is an interesting one because they've got a lot of 0-0 draws this season. And I just think in certain games, I don't think the fans will allow it. Just urge the team on, and I think
I think it is good. I think they do, and I think that's why I went back to Liverpool, because I think that game for the situation if they had that. But I don't think it'd have been that big for the majority of teams. But it'll be nice to have fans back in the stadium, and hopefully, gradually you can get more and more, and there can start being some routine for fans to go back to games, because a lot of fans, this is their life. You know, they work Monday to Friday, and they look forward to going to a game on the weekend. Now they've not had that; it's been quite hard for them to adjust. So I think having that routine for some people will probably give them at least a life again.
Yeah, obviously, with the mental health and everything that's going on. That's
100%. I think it gives people a lot to look forward to in a week. Oh, you know, what are you doing this weekend? Go and see the boys. But you know, I've not been able to do that. So they're watching on TV, and it's just not
well said, Dibs. Well said. So that is that. And guys, let me know your comments below what you think of Leicester City, the final, obviously Liverpool in the top 4 running. So much. I think we've got enough time to do this. So I'm going to do this, and then we'll come on to the European roundup and start sub and sell. Let's do our Team Talk TV team of the season. So we're going to agree. There's only 3 of us. So what formation should we go for? 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1?
Wait, are we going to have our own teams?
Well, let's do it together. Let's do it together.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I don't think the situation that much, the formation that much different. You can play people. Yeah, let's go to 4-3-3. Yeah, we can do it.
Who would we go in goal then? I want to say Emi Martinez of Villa, but I can accept Edison. Who would you go for? Yeah,
I think Martinez, man. He's made a massive difference for Villa. So I'm gonna, obviously, Ibby's probably gonna have a few choice words for me. But
I'll have a few choice words, but I mean, I can understand why he's there. He's kept quite a few clean sheets. To be fair, I think he's kept 14. I think he's 1 behind Brad Friedel's record for Villa, which is really good for him. But yeah, I think him or Edison personally would be the one.
Okay,
but I think
it's funny. Sorry to interrupt, because Mendy's got a lot of clean sheets, but I still don't see. I think it's more of a team performance at keeping the goals out as opposed to the goalkeeper. I think
miraculously enough, I think Leno has 10, which is mad considering Arsenal.
Bro, Arsenal very good defensive record, because you just
that's my point. So when I look at it, I think Leno's got these clean sheets. It's the no balance, but I think we can majority say that Martinez would probably make it.
Yeah. Well, me and Dan were happy with that. Martinez in goal. Right back, I'm gonna go Cancelo. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'd say that as well.
Okay, Martinez, Cancelo. 2 centre backs. Now, can we all agree Diaz is making it? Yeah,
of course.
I was gonna say Stones, but after I watched Fofana yesterday, I might put him in. Or is there anyone else that you would pick?
Now, I'd have Stones personally, because I think this season he has excelled.
Yeah.
Comparing to where he was last season, I'm a big fan of Stones, but I can understand why people say, oh, he's too over-exuberant or he makes a lot of mistakes. But for me, I think he's come leaps and bounds. But I understand why you're a fan, but I'll go with Stones.
It's funny, though, when you see Stones play when Diaz ain't playing, that's when you see the mistakes creep in. And I think that there was one mistake he made, I can't remember what game it was, but I saw him make a mistake, and then I realized he's playing with Laporte. And it just shows that the impact players like Van Dijk, when you have a solid centre back, he makes the other better. I personally think Ruben Diaz is the key to that City defense, which is why I would personally pick Fofana, because I think Fofana does the same thing for Leicester.
It's hard. All right, we'll go Fofana. So it is going to be Martinez, Cancelo, Diaz, Fofana, and left back. I think it's easy. Luke Shaw. We agree on that one.
Yeah, he's had a good season. Yeah. He's had a good season.
I would have liked to put Tierney, but he's been injured too much.
I think he's just a bit too injury prone this season.
Yeah, Luke Shaw. I think probably the easier one.
Yeah.
All right, 3 centre midfielders. This is interesting. When I was thinking about it, it's hard to actually think of someone who's been bang on as a DM, unless. So, yeah, Bruno, is he one of them? Can we
not as a DM? I want to put him as
one of the 3.
One of the 3.
Yeah, one of the 3. So Bruno's making one of them. Now there's so many. I'll give some names: De Bruyne, Mount, Gundogan. Can we even put Foden? Well, maybe you can put him in the front 3. Yeah, you're gonna have to help me out, guys.
In terms of DM, like someone who no one talked about, man. Even yesterday, I thought he had a fantastic
Yeah,
game. Ndidi,
yes,
man.
I would.
think
I'd
Ndidi
like it.
honestly, indeed, he does his thing week in, week out, and he doesn't get the plaudits that other people do. He really doesn't. And yesterday he was fantastic in that midfield. Honestly, he works so hard, aggressive, wins his tackles. Yeah, man. I would personally put.
I could give you
Ndidi
my
going
three.
forward.
I could give you Ndidi, Gundogan, and Bruno. I think that would be my three personally.
Okay. You don't think De Bruyne should make it?
No.
No. Mason Mount? No.
Just missed it out.
Okay.
Personally, you know what? I'm not Mount's biggest fan, but recently he's kind of, for me, shown me that there's a player there. But I just don't think he made. I think Gundogan had that run where he kept City going. Bruno's got the goals to put Man United where they are, and I think Ndidi's just been a powerhouse for Leicester. I'd say those three would be mine.
Who would you pick as your midfield threes, Dan, so I can round that up?
Ndidi, Bruno. I feel like when KDB's in the team, Gundogan's quiet though. That's the only thing. So I think we could, if I can't think of anyone else, so I might put Tielemans, to be fair, because even Tielemans, I think he's bossed it for City, but for Leicester City. But well, I guess we'll just put Gundogan in there just because he had that.
Okay, TV will overpower my one, so it will be Ndidi, Bruno, and Gundogan. But I was just going to pick Gundogan more of a deeper role, Mount and Bruno. I've been really impressed with Mason Mount. Sadly, he's going to miss out then. So it will be Ndidi, Bruno, and Gundogan. Front three then to wrap it up. Striker Kane, yeah. And two wingers. Who are we going for? Is it going to be Salah, Son, Rashford? One of them probably might miss out. Will Foden make it? Will Grealish make it?
I'd have Salah there.
He's got bad
on the
bad
right,
away goal today. His goal today was very mad.
Yeah.
On the left side, this season's been dry, man. This season's been dry for talent, in my opinion. Been very dry for talent.
So it's either Son, Rashford, or Grealish.
I'd rather put Son.
His numbers
there,
are incredible.
But, I know. Not since January though, or this February, it's slowly declined. But I think how he started the season was emphatic. Carried Spurs for a lot of performances. I'm just thinking, surely there must be somebody that's done more than Son.
Oh, it's Rashford and Grealish. I mean, from the left hand side. I mean, Foden made the team ahead of Salah.
Which I was, Salah for me has been very good.
Yeah.
And I think for me, Salah, the reason why I have Salah in there is because he could score more goals.
Yeah. I mean, Salah, Kane, 22 goals each. I mean, to leave one of them out, I know Aguero has missed out a lot of times in his career, but so Kane, Salah. So wrap it up to put you on the spot. We'll start with you, Ibs. Who would you put on the left?
I'm gonna go just because of the impact of what he's done. I'd probably say Foden, because I feel like he's displaced a good player in Sterling and really taking on leaps and bounds. He would just put in. I think Son fell off when Spurs needed him most. So I'd probably say Foden. Okay.
Dan? On the left.
On the left. I'll go Son, man. I'm a massive Son fan. Really, really big fan of him.
It would have been better with a fourth person. I'm going to go Son as well. I will go Son as well. So we've had three differences. So let's go for it. 1 to 11. Martinez in goal, Cancelo right back, centre halves, Diaz, Fofana left back, Shaw, defensive midfielder, Ndidi, the other two midfielders, Gundogan and Bruno, and the front three, Salah on the right, Son on the left, and Kane up top. So the three differences obviously was the centre back, Stones or Fofana. We can't read. I mean, preference. Mount misses out obviously, and the left-hand side position. So three positions. So let me know in the comments below, guys. Is that a fair team? Are you surprised by Ndidi's introduction into the team of the season? But yeah, that is our team of the season. It's a very interesting one. It was a tough one on the left-hand side. I'll let you say it was dry for the talent compared to other seasons, but let's hope next season will be a better one. And very quickly to wrap it up, who should win the player of the season? I think Diaz.
Yeah, I'd probably say Diaz personally. Yeah, he's been a rock. I don't think people were that impressed that Man City spent so much on a centre back, but I think he's come in and just bossed it personally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Kane, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Kane only because this season I always like give my I always give attacking players the advantage. If he finishes top goal scorer, the reason I'll give it to Kane is because not only has he contributed the goals, I think the assists as well, and the way he's redeveloped his game. You know, like dropping into deep areas, creating for the wide players like Son, Bergwijn, or Lucas, whoever's out there. Yeah, and usually I'm not one of them like crazy Kane fans, but I think he's actually been the best attacking player this season. So I would give
Yeah,
it to
fair
him.
enough. It's a tough one. I think the main people we're talking about is Diaz, Kane, Bruno Fernandes with his record. But I think Diaz or Kane is acceptable, and I think either one of those two will win it as well. So yeah, guys, it's been a good team this season, an interesting one. And let me know your comments below whether you think it's the right one. And before I move on to the European roundup, I wanted to ask you to stop in as well. Young talent, I think a lot of people have burst in the scene, like Michael Richards famously says. Is there anyone youth-wise, whether it's English talent or anyone, Dan, I'm sure that, you know, you being an agent, you might see someone, Ibs, from your Arsenal guys. I watched Arsenal's youth against Liverpool's youth in the FA Youth Cup, that you were impressed with. And I think next season or a year or two, I think coach gave Shola Short Tire, I think that was his name.
Oh yeah, from Man United.
To watch out for Man United. Any youth talents that you are impressed with?
Okay, so Dane Scarlett, I've mentioned before,
Okay.
Spurs striker. Maybe he'll get games. I think he should maybe go on loan just because Harry Kane is going to be very hard to move. But he's a very, very good striker. There's a player, he made it on the bench against Chelsea for Palace, Jezran Saki. Now, this young boy, Chelsea released him when he was 16. He went to Palace and he's had an amazing season.
Okay.
Moved up from the 18s to play with the 23s. But again, I think we're away from seeing him. And obviously, the obvious one, I think probably the biggest emerging talent for me this season has probably been Smith Rowe. I know he's been around Arsenal's ranks for a long time, but for him, it's good to see him pushing on because there was a lot of hype around him. I never really saw it, but I think the performances I've seen from him, I'm actually, as a obviously fan of English football, I think that it's good to see another emerging England talent. So yeah, I think we'll see his name around the England team probably.
Mm-hmm. Before I come on to you, Ibs, I have to say so many players have stepped up, like you just mentioned, Smith Rowe. Foden, the way he stepped up, this guy is an incredible talent, and he surprised me so much. Him, Jude Bellingham, I think even Reece James, the way he's played, Curtis Jones, who was sopped off quite early today. Yeah, I mean, if I'm going with two talents, the two that I'm going to talk about is one who's actually scored against Liverpool in the FA Cup, Louis Barry from Aston Villa, who I think is a really good player, came from Barcelona. I think he was released, or Villa signed him back again. Really impressive. And another one I want to speak about is a Liverpool boy, Mateusz Musialowski, who's a Polish player. Is he as good as Lewandowski? Maybe. No, I'm joking. I'm really impressed. I think you guys should check out Mateusz Musialowski for Liverpool. And the FA Youth Cup final was between Liverpool and Aston Villa. And yeah, so those are probably the two young players that I think people should look out for. I watched Mr. Miguel Aziz Ibs against Liverpool. And I also did watch Shola Shotai against Liverpool as well, funny enough, in the FA Youth Cup. Two good young boys. The way Miguel Aziz is built, he's a big guy, and he played well. They did lose the game 3-1. But yeah, those are my two main boys. I think you guys should watch, Louis Barry and Mateusz Musialowski.
Just to say, I feel sorry for Arsenal because I don't think Miguel's going to sign a contract. To be fair, I think he's going to move.
Oh, is he not? Okay.
He's in his last year.
Okay, Ibs, what do you reckon then? Any youth players that you like, or anyone that you've been impressed with this season?
I think one player who actually played yesterday is that Fabio Carvalho at Fulham. He took his goal quite well yesterday. He seems like a decent striker. Going to the Championship might help him. He might actually play next season. Now they've gone down, a lot of big players will leave. I think the one player for me who's going to be brilliant is Eze at Palace.
Okay.
I think he's ready for a big team now. Personally, I think he's that good. I'd like him at Arsenal. I think he could come in and play easily. I think when you see him play, he's so cultured. He can skip past players. He can shoot. He can pass. He can dribble. He can, he can get in attacking positions that I feel are needed for players in his position. I think he's brilliant. Personally, that's my player
He's
to watch.
complete.
Yes, he is. He is. When I look at him, I think the goal we took at Sheffield United, the way he skips past players reminds me of like the way Kaka used to do it with Grace. Like it's not a sense of, how Zaha, it's just cultured. He'll just sort of just usher it to the side and goes past you. I think he's a player for me who will, he's ready for a big club now. And I think next season, he's the guy for me. I don't know if it's at Palace because of the way they play, but with Roy leaving, they might change it up. So for me, he's the guy. He's the one who next season will take off.
You know what? Spot on. Obviously, you guys probably know Tyreek Mitchell, who scored today. He's spoken to me about him. He's a fantastic young player, really good at QPR, of course. He loves staying in London. Actually, I think Roy Hodgson might be going at the end of the season. And Frank Lampard could go take that job. That was the links. And I think that's a good move for him as well. I really do. So, maybe he could see more flowing football at Selhurst Park. And we'll see where Richie Eze goes. But, interesting one. Right. I wanted to go to European Roundup. And you guys the Championship playoffs, who do you think would be the two teams that goes to the final?
Swansea, Brentford.
Swansea, Brentford, okay. Not Barnsley?
Barnsley have been good this season.
Yeah.
But I just think Swansea, sometimes the league table can be confusing. You look at the league form and you think, they're going to do well in the playoffs, but then they get to the playoffs and they bottle it. Leeds done it a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Derby done it. Well, Derby was sick, but it happens quite common. But I think Swansea have just been in that position many times. They would have been good.
They've rode their luck this season. Yeah.
They have.
Yeah. Jamal Lowe of Swansea. Bournemouth have got Arnaut Danjuma. Barnsley, Daryl DK. If you've not watched him, he's an incredible talent. And who's the other team? Brentford, Ivan Toney, of course. Ibs, what do you reckon?
I mean, the success story would probably be Brentford after what happened last season. For them to get it would be good. But for some reason, I have a sneaky feeling Swansea are going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want Swansea to. I'd rather have Brentford come up and, see how Tony does in the Prem. I think he's a good striker. But I just think Swansea will just sneak it.
Okay, fair enough. I'll probably agree with you guys as well. I would love to see Barnsley do it. I really do. It's been an inspirational story. And I think, Dan, you probably watched them play against Chelsea in the FA Cup, right? And they gave you the game like you were saying. I think at one point you were saying all the big teams we played, but Barnsley gave us the hardest go. And they got really...
Yeah, but that's why we played 4 at the back though, man. So,
okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's just...
Daryl DK, one of the American strikers. You should watch him out as well, guys. Okay. We'll go on to the European roundup. And it's actually very tight in a lot of the leagues. And as we speak right now, there's games going on in the La Liga, which I'm going to update you on.
Literally just going on live score to go have a look.
Barcelona have lost by 2-1 at home to Celta Vigo.
Come on.
So they're out of it. But Real Madrid have won by 1-0 against Atletico Bilbao. And Atletico Madrid are just one game away and winning the league title. Luis Suarez in the 88th minute to win the game by 2-1 against Osasuna. So 83 points for Atletico Madrid, 81 for Real Madrid, and 76 for Barcelona. They can no longer win the league title. I'm just going to have a look at the fixtures, the final day and who plays. Bear with me 1 second. Real Valladolid against Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid against Villarreal on the final day of the season. A draw, will it be enough for Atletico Madrid? There will be 3 plus 3. So a win would be enough for Atletico Madrid to win the league title. It was rocky. But that is what's going on in that one. So who's going to win the league, Atletico or Real Madrid?
He's going to do it, man. Obviously negative football, but I just want Suarez to look at the Barcelona fans and obviously show them what they're missing, because that was the biggest mistake the club made. Biggest mistake.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, he's had a great season.
Yeah, okay. The Bundesliga is being a poor season, to be honest. Obviously, Bayern Munich have won it, but Borussia Dortmund have secured their place in the Champions League after Frankfurt dropped points. So, maybe Haaland might stay there for another year. Serie A, obviously, Inter Milan have won the title, so congrats to them. Could Cristiano Ronaldo be playing in the Europa League next season? AC Milan have got a game against Cagliari later on tonight. If they win that game, they'll go 3 points clear of Juventus, and Juventus will be 1 point behind Napoli, who are fourth. Napoli won today as well. But AC Milan's final game is against second place Atalanta. However, a draw could be enough for both sides. Well, it'd definitely be enough for Atalanta, and it should be enough for AC Milan, provided they beat Cagliari. So the question is, are Juventus going to be playing Europa League football next season?
I hope so, if I'm honest. I hope they do, but I just, I don't know. It's very tight, and it all depends on, which team turns up on a day. But I'd like Juve to be in Europa League. Personally, just to go back as well, I'd like Real Madrid to win the league.
Okay.
I dislike Atletico. I dislike their manager. I dislike their football. So I will be rooting for Real Madrid. And Barcelona, if they're not smart, which they ain't, they need to sack Koeman right now. Not tomorrow. Sack him right now. Yeah. He's a useless manager. Sack
immediately.
Him. Sack him.
Okay, fair enough. And then lastly, League A. Did I say that right?
Yeah. League A. Yeah.
Okay, so they are going to play tonight. Lille are 3 points clear of PSG. Lille play Saint Etienne at home, and PSG. Did they play Saint Etienne? Yeah, they play them at home, and PSG got a home game against. I can't even pronounce that. Reims. Yeah, Lille gonna win the league. Burak Yilmaz, 35-year-old. I mean,
got some goals
and some screamers as well.
Yeah.
30 free kicks. Yeah, Lille gonna win the league.
Again, I hope so.
Yeah. I hope so.
It's nice to see these big teams not winning their respective leagues 7-8 times in a row. It's good to have a different, winner. So, the Milan's winning it, after Juve held it for so long. Rangers winning it, Lille hopefully win it. So, it's to see these clubs winning the league and letting the big teams always have a stranglehold on it.
Mm-hmm. Should mention, Rangers did win the league. Went invincible. Steven Gerrard, he's won the league now. I'm guessing. With Rangers, yeah. So he'll be playing in the Champions League. I'm really looking forward to see what Gerrard does in the Champions League. I think in the Europa League was impressive. And yeah, exciting times for Rangers and Steven Gerrard. Right then, quick start, sub and sell. It's goalkeeper union this time. I did ask him to do this last week, but he's telling me to do it now. So yeah, I am a goalkeeper. So I'll be interested to see what you guys think on this one. Would he start, sub and sell in their massive game in their prime? Manuel Neuer, Gigi Buffon, or Iker Casillas?
Do you know what? I can actually no. I can go.
Okay.
I can go.
I can go as well.
I can go. So, all three have won the World Cup.
Okay. Yeah.
2 have won the Champions League. But I just have to sell Neuer. Neuer is sold. He does not start or sub. He is sold. I think he's benefited from great defenses more than him being not any keeper. I think benefits from that. I would start Buffon and I would sub Casillas.
You reckon Buffon's a better player than Casillas?
Casillas was one of my favorite keepers, and did in 2010 and 08 and 2012 was great. But I just feel like Buffon was just something different. There was one save Buffon did in the Champions League final at Old Trafford. I don't know if it was to Inzaghi. It was to Inzaghi. There was a header Inzaghi did from 8 yards out. And the reflexes was just incredible. So yeah, Buffon just shades it for me. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Dan. I just want to get it. Fun start.
Casillas sub and Neuer sold.
All right, Dan, go ahead, please.
Bang. I think it was just bang on. To be fair, this is first time me and Ibs have agreed on a start to score, I think. Gigi for me, he's the example for anybody that wants to be a goalkeeper, in my opinion.
I agree.
And I remember being young, and that was the only keeper anyone was talking about. Obviously, Casillas came through later because he's younger slightly, but Gigi was just. So, I'm gonna go Gigi. I'm gonna go Iker just because of the great years with Real Madrid and Spain, and Neuer just because he's the kind of new breed out of the three. I'm gonna sell him, but he did bring through the whole sweeper keeper wave, so credit to him for that. But yeah, man. But then again,
It's hard. It's
I had them dodgy years, them very dodgy years before he went to Porto. It's like
Yeah,
2 or 3
yeah.
seasons where he was just letting him blunder after blunder, and then Jose came in, dropped him.
But I feel like Neuer's levels have dropped since 2014.
Yeah, but he's had injuries though, like quite bad injuries.
Yeah, he has.
But to be fair, he's very solid in that. But it's not it's not an easy one. But I'm just gonna put some respect on Casillas, and he's got to go because he was like captain as well. Yeah,
I'm really interested to see what you think, Coach, if you are listening, and your mate. I have to start Casillas. I remember at the time, Buffon was the most expensive player, was he? Or even the goalkeeper, 30 million, 25 million? Until Luis Garcia packed him from 30 yards. No, I'm messing. I'm going to go Casillas to start. I will sub Buffon, Neuer third. But I think Neuer, the sweeper keeper that is coming, maybe you guys can tell me if there was one before him, but the way I've seen him sweep as a goalkeeper is incredible. But it was really, really difficult for me to actually sell Neuer there. But yeah, I'm going to go Casillas first. I just thought maybe you two would say Casillas was a better goalkeeper than Buffon. But yeah, there's a difference of opinions. But Buffon was incredible. He was. And you are right, towards the end of his career, Casillas, he did have those dodgy moments where they conceded 6 to Barcelona, lost 6-2 or something like that. Or maybe it was before that. But yeah. Was that a tough one for you guys? Or I hope I gave you a good one.
I think it was a good one. I think it's just, for me, I just feel like Buffon's just, I don't know, you just look at Buffon, you think his stature in front of goal, he was just
legendary.
So big, yeah.
Legendary.
He was just a big keeper.
Mm-hmm.
Big keeper. Yeah, great keeper.
Okay, cool. That is the end of the podcast, guys. It's been a good podcast. I'm still in disbelief for what I've just seen with Team Alisson Becker. I should also mention that Sheffield United are 1-0 up away from home against Everton. So, yeah, they are winning by a goal to nil. Make sure you guys, as again, subscribe, like, interact on Instagram, which is going really well, on YouTube. And we've got exciting times coming up at Team Talk TV. We really do. Next season, maybe back in the studio, inshallah. And we have our own Team Talk TV. We've just done Team of the Season. We'll have our own Team Talk TV link up on the England squad. That's going to be changed to 23 to 26 man. Obviously, the Euro is coming up. We're still active. We're going to be having that prediction show as we usually do, where we predict the table where only one person is correct out of 20. We've got exciting times coming up. So guys, subscribe to Team Talk TV. It's great times ahead, of course, like I say, when we go into the studio. Guys, you got anything else you want to add?
I think you hit the nail on the head, bro.
Yeah, exciting thing. So make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Yes, cool. Dan, it's been great seeing you for the last 6-7 weeks in a row. And we will be back on the final Premier League game of the season, where we'll, of course, round up what happens in La Liga and everything else as well. So we'll talk about West Brom against Liverpool, the FA Cup final, and the top 4 race, Chelsea, how well run Leicester are done, young players, our very own Team Talk TV Team of the Season, European roundup, and Start 7 stuff. So, guys, I wish you very well.
Yeah,
and
you
we'll
too,
see you
brother.
next week.
Take care. Bye, guys.